Welcome back to Citizen Channel and Match Report. As we look back at a good night at the Etihad overall. We'll take that, won't we, guys? City 2, Brentford 0, 7:45 kickoff at the Etihad on the Wednesday, the 9th of February. Please, if you are new to the channel, don't push that subscribe button. Please, if you can do so, that'd be wonderful. Tell your City supporting friends about this channel. I do everything City, past, present, and forever. So hopefully you'll enjoy this today. Please push that notification as well if you like some of the vlogs are coming out. I do a film and TV channel as well. I do film reviews, drama reviews, lots of information vlogs. So check that out if you can. And please, guys, leave us your comments. Any comments you want to make, I'll make a little note as I'm going through this, what your thoughts are. Let me know. And if you haven't got time for a comment, if you just give us a like, that'd be great. It'd be great. Get the likes up. That'd be brilliant. Right, yeah, the lineup. I got 9 right. I was happy with that, to be honest with you. 9 out of 11. I said I'd be happy with 8 or 9 out of 11. Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Laporte, Rodri, KDB, Bernardo, Foden, Sterling, and Mahrez. Yeah, Walker was an interesting one. Obviously, he was involved in that night out, wasn't he? And obviously, Grealish and Walker are they on the naughty step? Because let's face it, Walker can't play in the Champions League, so I thought he'd play every game. So it's a little bit of Pep being annoyed with him, I think, and also the fact that he's trying to keep Stones and Laporte happy. Obviously, going into the next set of games where he needs everyone match fit and obviously up for it. And obviously, it's very important. Obviously, that pairing at the back. It can't always be either Diaz and Stones or Diaz and Laporte. Not so much Jackie, of course. So I think it's a matter of trying to keep players happy and keeping players match fit as well. So interesting. But interesting Walker. We did miss his pace a couple of times, but we were okay. We got away with it against Brentford. Perhaps not so much against other teams. I want to see Walker against Norwich, that's for sure, this week. Right, Darren England was in charge. Mr. Moss was on the VAR, which was fair enough. There was a penalty incident, wasn't there, which I think at the end of the day he got his leg trapped. I think it was fairly simple award by the ref. Well, not a simple award by the ref, but awarded. I don't think VAR could do anything about it. Right, the match report. Let's zoom through this one. Quite a lot went on, even though it wasn't the most. If you look at the stats, the most goal pounding game itself. They were stubborn opponents. We'll talk about Brentford after this. Of course, after do the player ratings with obviously Stuart Brennan and my own player ratings. We'll talk about Brentford going forward. But we did have to work very, very hard. But we were patient throughout this game, throughout the first half. We prodded and probed. We had an early header from Foden that it looked as though he did everything right, got in the right pose and everything, but obviously it went quite well over. That was on 5 minutes. And then it was quiet. We just didn't create that much. Cancelo blazed over on 27 minutes after some good work from John Stones, who played through Foden, who passed it on to Mahrez, who's crossed almost reached, didn't it? Almost reached Sterling. He was ready there to side foot home, and the keeper managed to get to it first, but obviously it fell for Cancelo, who under pressure just blasted over. Sterling went close again on 33 minutes with a spectacular looking scissors kick, a la Rooney at the Swamp many years ago, but a little bit further in, and with it being further in, it went flashing over the bar. But some good work from Mahrez and Foden as well in the build up to that. Foden clipped the ball into the danger area for that one. 35 minutes, Laporte came the closest to giving City the lead. Yeah, it looks as though it's going in for where I was. I thought the keeper got a hand to it. He didn't. A great Diaz header back from a KDB free kick. And Laporte's shot just went wide of the post. But 37 minutes, some miscommunication for us as well. Ederson and Diaz, I was up the other end. I didn't quite see what happened, but Diaz ended up putting it out for a Brentford corner. So perhaps Ederson should have done better, and Diaz a bit of miscommunication. Sort that out, guys, with the next 2 or 3 months. 39 minutes, a Brentford mix-up. Yeah, this is what caused both their goals, errors really from Brentford. Both our goals, errors from Brentford. So a sort of mix-up. So Sterling cleverly seized possession of the ball and just run into the box, only to be clumsily brought down by. Would he have done anything with it? Sterling was trying to cut back in, wasn't he? Which was typical with how Sterling plays. Brought down by Mads Roerslev. He possibly, he got sold on that one, didn't he? And it had to be a penalty, no doubt about it. And Darren England instantly pointed, and the defender knew he'd done wrong. If him Roerslev knew he did wrong. 40 minutes, fantastic, wasn't it? Mahrez stepped up, and as we thought, just put it in that top corner again. Fantastic from Mahrez. Long may it continue. His confidence is high at the moment. The keeper totally went the wrong way. But on 43 minutes, we sort of nearly undid our good work, didn't we? Stones, this isn't the first time Stones has slipped. He wants to get some longer studs in his boots, I think. And he let him Brentford and Rico Henry sort of traded passes and whipped a wicked ball into the box. And Ederson had to bravely come out to save from Sergi Canos, I think it was. And obviously the stretcher was readied and everything. So we were all panicking. No disrespect to Stefan. I like Stefan, but we need Ederson fully fit. And the stretcher was ready, but obviously everything was all fine. He sat up and he was fine to carry on. In the second half, clear-cut chances again, bit similar to the first, few and far between, but there were some. Cancelo hit over on 50 minutes. And then on 54 minutes, a brilliant jinking run into the box, absolutely superb. I mean, if he'd scored with that, it would have definitely been my man of the match, as he was City's, but he wasn't mine, to be honest with you. Brilliant jinking run into the box, but he fired the same shot straight at the keeper. A quiet Bernardo had a shot, looked as though aiming for the top corner, but the goalkeeper had time and he could actually see it from a long way out, so he had time to get across and actually catch it without it being too much trouble, I think. And I think he did actually catch it. He didn't put it out for a corner. So, we didn't see much of Bernardo last night. A bit quieter from him, certainly in front of goal, that's for sure. On 63 minutes, a tireless, KDB ends up in the right-back spot to sort of snuff out a Brentford break. That sort of summed up KDB's night for me. 66 minutes, Grealish came on for Mahrez, so he was off the naughty step. So hopefully we'll see Walker against Norwich, get him off the naughty step as well. And it's from another Brentford error that City made it 2, and put the game to bed. Just 2 minutes after that substitution, on 68 minutes, Reyes attempted pass out the keeper. Just poor. They were trying to knock it around, but intercepted by Sterling. It was an okay save by the keeper. Sterling perhaps could have done better. He tried to put it round him. Didn't quite work, but of course, KDB was there on hand to calmly drill home for about 18 yards and actually make it 2-0, double our advantage and put the game to bed. Gundo came on for Foden, 71 minutes. 80 minutes, Rodri had a rocket that kept low but was tipped round the post. And apart from a couple of late corners for Brentford, where Ederson did okay for one and defensively we were all right, they offered very little and were continually caught offside. I mean, I think there was 10 offsides for Brentford in the game. Very poor by them. Not much nous going forward. As obviously that's a bit of a worry for them. We'll talk about that in a minute. But credit to Edders also. He made a point-blank save very late on. But the guy was offside, but he wasn't to know that when he made the save, of course. So I thought Ederson was excellent last night. Key stats: City 15 shots, just 7 on target. That's okay, a bit better than normal at the moment. Brentford 6 shots. I'm surprised he got 6 in, to be honest with you. 2 on target. Possession 76% for City. Pass completion 88% for City. I like to see 90, 91, 92, 88. I'll have to do. It's not great, but I think it was because of the sheer ranks of Brentford players at the back probably stymied that or affected that. 59% completion by Brentford, very poor. And the ratings, here we go. Stuart Brennan is there for the Evening News. I'm 6.5 is my standard. So they did better, they'll get more than that. They did worse, they'll get less. Well, no one gets less, I don't think, tonight, guys, this morning from last night, because I thought it was a great team effort, a lot of good teamwork. Ederson, Brent Stewart says, earned himself a headache with a brave save after Stones' slip. He did, but had a nice rest in the second half. Well, he did, but he did a couple of good things as well. So I was only giving him a 6, Stewart. I'm going to give Ederson a 7. I thought it was far better than that. I think Stewart's been a bit mean there. When he was asked to step up, he did, and he was brave. All right, it's a bit of that confusion with Diaz, but we'll forgive that. John Stones, Stewart said, unfortunately, Slip presented the Bees with their best chance, but he made up for it by chasing down Godos on a counter, 6 is given again. I think that's mean. I thought John Stones was involved in a lot of things. All right, you probably can prevent slipping, but can you? So I'll give him a 7. I think Stuart's a bit mean tonight with some of these scores. I thought he did a lot of good work up front as well, and I think it was very, very solid. I'm going to give John Stones a 7, definitely. Diaz, brilliant block, says Stuart, after Ederson's brave save went unheralded as the whistle had gone for a free kick. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, he's given him an 8. I think that's high, but I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think Brentford were not great up front, but Diaz was a bit of a rock, wasn't he? And organised that back four very well, especially when he had John Stones playing right back, really, didn't we? So that was the thing for me, which wasn't his familiar position. That takes us on to Laporte. Stuart said almost scored, was his usual unflappable self in face for Pacey B's counter-attack. Yeah, similar to Diaz, but not quite as effective, I don't think. Stuart's given a 7. I've given a 6.5. There was also an error late on, which sort of went our way. Otherwise, he coped. We got away with late on. Otherwise, we coped pretty well with Brentford. João Cancelo, fabulous solo effort in the second half to Stuart, just needed a better finish, was excellent after the break. Yeah, I thought that. I thought the first half, not a lot worked for him. It was a lot of overhit crosses or underhit crosses. Stuart's given him an 8. I'll give him a good 7.5 because, on another day, perhaps those things will work. And as I said, his second half was much improved. Again, another game, he might put it into the post or lay it off. Sometimes when he went in that box and had a shot, I mean, I can forgive him for having a shot, but perhaps look around, see if there's anyone else to pass it to for them to score as well. But I'm not going to blame him for that. Rodri couldn't exert his usual controls as Stuart. River in the first half drove home the advantage as Brentford wilted. Stuart's given him a 7. I'll give him a 6.5. Again, didn't notice him much, which is usually a good thing, but it sort of grew into the game a little bit. A better second half, but I'll give him the standard 6.5. Bernardo, Stuart said unusually quiet in an attacking sense, but he's never afraid of hard work. Well, he's not. Stuart's given him a 6. Yeah, I can't totally disagree. I'm going to give him the minimum. I'm going to give him 6.5. He worked tirelessly, but again, very, not his usual self, I don't think, last night with the way we played and the way Brentford played. KDB, Stuart says, snaffled up the chance to put the game beyond the visitors and was then sprinting back into the left-back position to stifle an attack. Was it the left-back? I thought it was a right-back position. I thought it was down our obviously, to me, it was on my right, so that's our right-back position, sure. Anyway, I know what he's talking about. It might be me. It might be me that's wrong. He's given a 7. I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he put in a great shift. They say he was putting some good crosses in. All right, a couple didn't hit them, but didn't beat the first man. But some of the free kicks were excellent, and he popped up for the goal. I thought he was tireless last night. Kevin De Bruyne, very all right. Not as smooth and silky like he can be with some of the passes, but worked for me. Mahrez gave City the width they needed. When the breakthrough moment came, his penalty was perfect. It certainly was. Stuart's given him an 8. I'll give him a 7.5, guys. Let me know what you think with all these scores. I thought it's another great penalty, and it was pretty central to much of what we did. Certainly in that first half, till he got, obviously in the second half, he got taken off. A bit quieter, but I think the first half, a lot went through him. Foden, Stuart said, had the unglamorous task of occupying his second central role, which we know he doesn't like particularly, but applied his usual energy on touch of class. Yeah, I mean, Stuart's given a 7. I've just given a 6.5. Not his favourite position. He did work hard the same way Bernardo worked hard, but I can't really give him more than a 6.5. That header early on, if that had gone in, he might have been man of the match. Who knows? Sterling, Stuart said his raw pace turned the penalty. Did is alert enough to have a hand in the second. Stuart's given him an 8. Excuse me, guys. I'm always hoarse after the match. I give him a 7.5. I thought some good, some bad, which is Sterling. Won the penalty. Obviously, KDB saved his blushes in that second half by scoring that goal. But I think he was okay. He was always a threat to Brentford. I thought I'll give him a 7.5. I'll be generous to him last night. Probably a little bit higher than perhaps I should do. But I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he played okay last night. Very well last night. Grealish, I didn't mark him, was not long enough. Came on for 66. Stuart said no impact to give him a 5. That's a bit mean. I remember one okay run that he did. Bit mean, Stuart. And Gundogan for Foden on 71 slotted in easily, says Stuart, and he's given him a 6, which is fair enough. My man of the match, well, yeah, I mean, the City had Cancelo. I'm going to go KDB. I thought he was tireless. As I said, not always as silky, but I think this is what we're seeing from KDB. Now he's working his way through and working his socks off, especially that, I say, when he got back to that attack, that break in the second half. No Mr. Walker with the pace, so it was nice to see KDB working his socks off to get back. So, yeah, he was my man of the match. Guys, let me know what you think. Worked tirelessly and a goal. What more can we say? I think that's enough for me to make him man of the match. Overall record at home to Brentford, because I Peterborough then. Played 5, won 4, lost 1, and we scored 10 and let 4 in. So Brentford going forward, yeah, I mean, they got Palace and Arsenal next, and then 3 6-pointers, if you like, against Newcastle, Norwich and Burnley coming up. They are organised, a bit bland last night, a bit disappointing, a bit lacking in skill and nous up top. I mean, as I say, 10 offsides for at Premier League level, I don't, sounds a lot to me. And I just got the impression it was even more than 10 offsides. Obviously, I looked at the stats this morning. And both City goals were basically errors. But then again, City were some nice little touches, some nice little moves. I mean, you can't, if you're going to defend against City, your luck's going to run out at some stage, and perhaps it could have run out a little bit more than it did. But two mistakes, 2 goals, and very negative. I mean, it was a free hit for them last night. I'm not too sure how strong the team was, whether he rested anyone, Franks, but all credit from keeping it down to 2. That might be important goal difference going forward. I mean, they sit 14th at the moment. They're not in any initial danger. As I said, they got those two couple of games and the 3 6-pointers coming up. We'll probably know a lot better after that. But that's now 5 league losses on the bounce, and they'll need to sort that out. And of course, all right, last night was accepted that they were going to get beat, but I wanted a little bit more. Obviously, a bit more bravery from them. Obviously, they started the season on fire, went for wins, and then accepted the losses. And last night, they just seemed to cagily shut everything down, Frank. So obviously, it's getting to the stage of the season now where it's not. They're not there for the joy of it. They're there to try and stay in the Premier League, and he's under obvious pressure now to do that. I mean, if they can get 8 points from the next 5 games that I've just mentioned, that'll take them to 31 points with 9 games to go, which should be good enough, I think, if they reorganise themselves and carry on. Find a little bit of that form and a little bit of confidence. As I say, it's getting to the last third of the season where obviously there are pressures. Of course, yeah, they want now they're there in the Premier League. They do want to stay in, but if that's going to stop the sort of the style and the enjoyment and the play of the team, and I thought they played with a lot of, let's say, abandon at the start of the season. They took everything as they could, got some great victories, obviously suffered defeats, but they were all happy. But now it's the pressure's getting to them now. It's how they played last night, I thought. So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be fine. But say just find a little bit of that savoir-faire or whatever they call it. I don't know, and they'll be okay. I was say a little bit disappointed with them last night. As for us, well, we did all right. Remain patient, and that's how we did. Great team play last night. It wasn't a classic performance, of course it wasn't, but it was competent official, and that's what we need to do. We're pretty much in control, as we were at Brentford a few weeks ago. It was a similar thing. Brentford set up similarly, if you like, and our whole team worked hard. I couldn't say there was a weak player in our performance last night. And of course, we go to Norwich at weekend. I'll be there if you're there. Give us a shout when you see me. More of the same is needed against Norwich. We have to be patient. They'll be stubborn, but they have perhaps a little bit more. They're at home. They are a little bit more creative up front as well, I think, than Brentford. But Pep's already proven he's juggling the team now to keep everyone happy, as long as we've only Palmer and Jesus with niggles at the moment, so he can juggle the team without too much loss. Let's get Walker playing, guys. Let's get Walker back in. As I say, I was a bit, we just occasionally missed that little bit of pace. We got away with it against Brentford because, as I said, they lacked a little bit nous up front. But going forward, I'm sure Pep knows we do need Walker. And in all fairness, Walker needs to behave himself as well. He's a seasoned professional now. He's not as though it's not happened before, is it? And these lads need to do this, the Grealishes and the Walkers. Obviously, Mahrez wasn't so much on the naughty step, so I don't know why he was different particularly. But obviously, these things are held behind closed doors. What's going on? So we have to believe in Pep and the team as to what's happening. So as I say, the team will have to be up for it against Norwich, and we'll have to be wary. And I think Norwich will be a slightly harder challenge, but we should be okay. And going forward, as long as we keep working as a team, which we are, we should be all right. So please join me as we look forward to that Norwich game. I'll be doing, obviously, the history show's already out there, looking back at a trip there in 1993 when Norwich were, high-flying Norwich at the time. In third spot, they had been top for a while, a few weeks earlier. So, have a look at that history, boys. There will be an odd show, of course, and a match preview coming up. So press that notification button. Tell your mates. Anyway, let me know in your comments, guys, any of your thoughts, your player ratings, etc., etc. That'll be Great to hear. Thanks for joining me. A bit of a longer one today. I say a lot to talk about, nearly 20 minutes. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. What we're going to do rest of the day, have a great one. Catch yourselves, catch your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. We'll be here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing, don't I, guys? Please stay safe, please. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.